Council viewers, how you doing? My name is Lucas, and this is George. And you are watching Star Wars Rebel Recap Show. We're on episode 17 or 18. It was called Mystery of Chopper's Base. I liked this episode. We're going to go in and talk about what we liked and disliked about this episode, what we're going to see in the future, and a little bit about Star Wars. George?
All right, guys, let's get started. Personally, let's just start with the likes and dislikes. I really like the fact that it's kind of foreshadowing a lot. If you notice at the end, they kind of play that sinister
The Imperial March.
Kind of the Imperial March, Darth Vader kind of thing. Because if you didn't notice, there's a big rift between Kanan and Ezra, or the Master and the Apprentice. And you're starting to see, because we all know that eventually Darth Maul's going to come in, they're going to go to Sith Temple, and eventually he's going to have to decide which side he wants to be on permanently. And I'm seeing a lot of similarities between Anakin and him from Episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
He believes that he's better than his master, which honestly I do think he is, just like Anakin was more powerful than Obi-Wan was. Dislikes, I'd probably say, I'm more and more kind of getting pissed off with Chopper. I did not watch the last episode. We didn't make one because I
can't stand him.
And there's a couple reasons for that. I was actually out of town. I'm on spring break now, and I was doing midterms. But yeah, we're not really big fans of it.
No.
We're not very big fans. He actually ended up watching it, and he said it wasn't his favorite. So
no, by far one of. Let's not go into that.
Yeah, other than Chopper, because he kind of almost fucked up with the. He almost
messed up,
screwed up with the. He almost. I thought at one point he was gonna take off without them when they went to the cave. I didn't like how those spider. I like the spider things in general as kind of chaotic. I thought that was kind of cool, but if the blasters from the ship can destroy TIE fighters, they should be able to destroy a spider.
Yeah, I agree.
You agree with that?
Yeah, I was
totally.
like, how do you
we were yelling at the TV. We're like, this is stupid.
Like, how do you? But you got like you said earlier, it's a kid's show, so you can't.
You kind of have to get that.
You kind of have to get that. Well, yeah. I liked the fact that we saw the rift between Hera dealing with Kanan leaving, because Kanan and Ezra will be going with Ahsoka to Malachor, and I think next week is the season finale, which will be an hour long. Make sure you check that out. It's going to be awesome.
If there's any episode, there's 2 episodes you should check out. It's the first and the last.
I think it was good because at one point it was like, Kanan was like, Ezra, you go with them. And Hera was like, no, Ezra, you go with Kanan because they're going to be, they don't know how long they're going to be fighting the Inquisitors or Vader for.
Right.
So they're going to split off because...
Hera even pointed out, it's like, Zeb and Sabine kind of looked at Hera like,
what are you doing?
What are you doing? But we don't know how we gotta get used to him being gone.
Yeah, and they don't know. They don't know how long they're gonna be gone. And
Ezra even at the end's when it was just him and Zeb was playing some tunes. Like, hey, sit on a crate, watch the sunset, and he's like, I just want to let you know I'm gonna miss you, and I don't know if when we're gonna be back or if we're gonna be back. He's implying that they're fighting. Obviously, they're fighting the biggest evil in the galaxy, and they might die.
Yeah, it's. We're getting down, man. We're getting down
down to business.
Business, and
some fighting here. Serious fighting.
I like this. I really did like this episode because it kind of made it seem like maybe season 3 we won't have Ezra as much with the guys. If whatever happens in this next episode will set up season 3. What's gonna happen in season 3 really well.
I don't think we should make any predictions about that yet. I think we should make that predictions after next week. I think that'd be more Apple. More, yeah. But yeah, I think that'll be better. But if I was gonna make a prediction, it would be I think eventually Ezra and Kanan are gonna be a little more separate, and you're gonna see kind of 2 points of view. You're gonna see the 3 being Sabine, Zeb, and
And
Hera, and then you're gonna see the other two because they're kind of, or the other three because Ahsoka's probably gonna be in that too, and unless of course with
she meets
Darth
her
Vader.
end with.
Which again, we'll see what happens with that. But I think they're gonna kind of go off and do kind of a Jedi thing where because Ezra's probably at a point where he's almost could be considered a Jedi Knight. I mean, his abilities, especially the Force, are getting in there.
Yeah.
So he needs they need to go do their own Jedi shit, or excuse me again, they need to go do the Jedi stuff, and they need to kind of separate from the group almost.
Yeah, they. I just feel like
because they're not as powerful as their adversaries.
When
sometimes.
they finally found this base. They're just like, all right, now Kanan and Ezra, your two best fighters, are going to be leaving. So it's like you got to adapt to the situation at hand. So you don't know if they're going to be back. You don't know when or how, or they're going to have to get used to not having those two around, and that's what I liked about the whole character building of this episode.
Right, and they're building towards this whole thing with Darth Maul and like what's gonna happen to Ezra. There's so many. There's like even pictures that Ezra might even be part of the Knights of Ren because he has this like his same lightsaber as Kylo Ren, and like it's like maybe he turns to the dark side when he goes to the Sith Temple.
Yeah. But I liked this episode. I liked it a lot more than I liked last week's episode.
Yeah.
It wasn't so much. It didn't feel so much as a filler. Like not very many of these episodes feel like fillers, except for last week's. But you're gonna have a part
series,
in that one.
You're gonna have that though. I mean, even big shows like Arrow and The Flash, you have fillers even too.
Yeah.
I mean, you have in between. You have those. You probably have if you have like 20 episodes a season per se. You're probably gonna have like half of it's probably gonna be huge, like really big deal, kind of like with the plot, and then there's gonna be some like it's not as big, but it's building up to it.
It's still part of the story.
But it's still a major part of the story. I mean, we're only in the second season of the story, and we're probably just about after this season. I believe we're halfway. I think
halfway because Rogue One is
December, guys.
December, and they will be. They have. I think they're almost done with doing season 3 now.
Yeah.
Because they usually do taping in between the season. When the season that is airing now, they are taping and doing stuff for season 3. So it's gonna be interesting because
it usually starts in the fall, doesn't it?
Yeah, it'll start in the fall. So, but last year they had the Siege of Lothal come out in the summer, so they had to be working on it beforehand.
Which was probably actually honestly that's probably one of out of all the after watching because I actually didn't start watching the show until about Christmas break this past year, and he told me about it, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna binge watch all of this. And honestly, after watching all of season 1, then I watched started watching what it was on season 2. It was about halfway done. And honestly, that was probably one of the best projects they've ever put together. So I'm really excited for the other hour-long one they got at the end of this season because I think that's going to be probably the best episode so far, honestly.
Yeah.
That's what I predict for it.
I think so. Let's get into predictions for next week.
Okay. Obviously, you're going to have Darth Maul.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's either the season finale or there's one more episode, and then I think it's in April. I think April is the one actually. Now that I think about it, it's gonna be them. It's gonna be them showing up in Malachor, and then everything going downhill at Malachor. Because I think Ahsoka they're gonna get to Malachor. They're gonna find everything. They're gonna face the Inquisitors. Maul's gonna show up, and then Vader's gonna show up, and it's called the Fall or the Shadow of the Apprentice or something. So it could be either Darth Maul fighting Vader, or Ahsoka fighting Vader, which we know it could be both.
You know what I think happens? I think Vader sees Maul as kind of like, because obviously Vader can't. If Vader really could, he would destroy Palpatine, which I don't think. If Vader didn't have a suit, I think Palpatine would be dead by now. But I think Maul's gonna end up fighting him at the end of this season. I don't think Ahsoka's gonna get that fight yet. I think it will be maybe at the end of season 3 or 4, just because I think Vader's gonna try to get rid of Maul first, because there's still that because he
They're
knows.
gonna fight. They're gonna fight. They wouldn't just show you that in season 2 and not have it.
Well, they didn't in the season 2 the big trailer. They only showed the part that we've already seen with the Vision, so actually might not happen.
But do you remember at the end? It showed her and Vader at fighting each other.
That's true. I just don't think she's gonna die yet.
Oh, she won't. Well, I think she will.
I don't think she's gonna die yet. I think she'll have another fight. I think that she'll escape.
I don't know. I don't think you get away with that with Vader, though. I think he does his business and gets it done.
I think that you're gonna have Kanan too to help you out. So I mean, and probably Ezra. I mean,
who knows? Who knows, man?
I think Darth Vader won. My prediction is Ahsoka escapes, but I think Darth Vader kills Maul.
Hey, that's why we call it predictions.
Yeah.
That's why we call it predictions.
We'll see what happens, but either way, I think either scenario is going to end up being really good. I think if there's any episode you should watch this season, it is this episode, this last one, or even episode 1.
Yeah.
If you're really not big into it, but
yeah.
Action-wise, it will be really nice.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was. I felt a lot like Star Wars. Really, it did. If we got back to not having the stupid droid stuff, but that's just me. But
that's all good. Anything else? You want to go really into the darkness part with Ezra?
I think that by the time the whole thing's gonna end with Ezra either turning or they all dying under Vader from Vader. Everybody's got to die by the time New Hope shows around, because there are no Jedi, and the Rebels have to have something that unites them. So maybe it's something that Ezra's group does, but they all have to meet their end somehow. By the time New Hope comes around, they can't have.
Which I don't think that'll happen yet. I think it happens by the end of the series.
3 or 4, because it's.
I don't think you ended after 3 seasons. I think it's
4 or 5.
Yeah.
But I think cameo wise, I would love to see an Obi-Wan. I would love to see Obi-Wan back.
Which it's been rumored that he might show up. It's even been rumored that he might become involved with some of the new movies coming out. Not Rogue One. I'm talking episode 8 and 9 with not as a Force Ghost. Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably say either way.
That or a Han Solo, or you see Han Solo because you've already gotten Lando, you've already gotten Leia, so all you need, and you got Vader, and you've had Tarkin.
Yeah,
See, you got all the big players except for Luke and Obi-Wan, and you could introduce both those characters. The Rebels could be running and meet up at Tatooine and meet up with Luke Skywalker.
Very true.
And then all of a sudden, Ahsoka senses Obi-Wan, and there you go.
The one thing I could actually see happening is actually maybe they start building a base on Tatooine, because who would ever think of Tatooine? Tatooine's it's run by gangsters, and there's literally no law there.
And plus, this is a good thing that the prequels did well that made sense in the original trilogy. Anakin / Vader does not like Tatooine.
He hates it.
He hates it.
I mean, he was a slave.
So why not build?
That's
why you don't see him go down there in episode 4.
Right, exactly. I mean, even the thing about Vader is, at this point, you have to remember, he's not. I don't believe Vader in The New Hope is totally gone. He is totally 100% Sith. I don't think he's quite there yet. He's powerful, but he's not completely.
If you read Lords of the Sith, the book,
he balances. He's kind of conflicted because on the one hand, his love of his life dies because of him and only him, and then it's on the other side. He's like, oh, I just hate the Jedi, but he can't really do it. And then I think finishing off Ahsoka, Maul, kind of filling up his role as the actual apprentice of Palpatine, and completely killing off everyone, so only Obi-Wan is left. I think that's what fully makes him into that.
So that
dark, best Jedi killer.
And we see the Emperor here pretty soon too.
We should. I mean, we heard his voice, right? Or did we?
Yeah, at the end of both. You didn't see him,
but
you saw the back of him. But yeah,
you saw the hologram.
Yeah, that I could see that happening.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. I don't think there's really this episode was pretty straightforward. Obviously, there's a thing with Ezra that's that's been a continuing theme. We have more of the rebel bases expanding. I don't think did I miss
Nothing
anything?
very much.
It's gonna be a little shorter, probably.
Yeah, we've got some. We released our first Vader's Fist episode, ladies and gentlemen. It hasn't been getting very many views, but if you view this one, you should go check it out. We'll put a link in the description if you want to check out Vader's Fist. It's really
definitely
cool.
check it out.
We did a good
In the
job.
summer, actually, we have some other friends that we come back from college, and there's gonna be like what 4 other guys?
4 or 5,
so
depending. And I got people from work that want to do
right,
it too.
exactly. So this could
It's
be
gonna
like
be a fun old time.
This could be a big thing. Of course, guys, I'm on spring break right now, and Lucas doesn't go to school anymore. So actually, this week we might pop out a couple more videos.
Yeah.
So
heck, we might do one tonight.
Hell, I mean, hey, I don't have anything to do.
Yeah. Might as well.
So I guess we'll be signing off. You can follow us always on Twitter. #_tag Poulos.
You can follow our official Twitter account. It's Sith Council Videos, but the hashtag the thing is at Sith Council's 2310, or you can follow me at Lord Vader 2123. And as always, may the force be with you
always.